Okay, good. Well, welcome.
Hello. Welcome to another installment of The Little Things. My name is Alina Bardaggi.
And my name is Melissa Wilhouse. We are here in the TV studio at Rider University and can't wait to tell you guys all about what we did this weekend. So why don't you tell them a little bit?
So, as you guys know, if you watched our last video, we are Eco Reps at Rider University. And we are in charge of organizing volunteer trips for our volunteer green team. So this past weekend I organized a trip to Abbott Marshlands for a marsh cleanup for all of us to attend, and it went awesome. I thought it was a really great opportunity for all the students who signed up to get out, get outside, volunteer, and really experience this kind of sense of community with all the other volunteers.
Absolutely, and I think that my biggest takeaway from it was how much by the end of the cleanup, there were somewhere between 30 and 40 trash bags, because it was an event that was open to the public, but Alina organized the bus and the group from Rider, which was awesome because I think we made up like a third of the people who were there.
Yeah.
But it was really just amazing to see both the negative and positive impacts that we can have, you know, like it was awesome to drive away and see 30-something trash bags full, but at the same time, like, you know, humans put that there.
Yeah.
And there was like a TV from like the 1960s in the woods.
There were so many different things out there, and really weird things that I know that hopefully you guys watching don't randomly just throw out your old TVs into your yard and
your old
hope for the best. But there were shopping carts and old tires, like Mel said, TVs. It was really weird, but you know, of course, mainly the things we picked up were like glass bottles, plastic bottles.
Stuff that takes forever to break down, and the irony of it all is, on almost every single piece of trash that we found, that the writing was still readable, it said, please dispose of this properly. Every single one. So there's no excuse for it. And the thing to keep in mind, this marsh is right on the bank, I don't even know what river that is, but it's right in Hamilton, New Jersey. So it's right next to Rider, you know, it's, if that, 10 minutes down the road. And there were snails living inside these plastic bottles that clearly have been there for years.
And we couldn't even get them out, so that means they must have like grown in those bottles. It was pretty crazy, and
a little
honestly,
disheartening.
Yeah, it was disheartening. It was scary knowing that those things have been out there so long. And one thing that I definitely noticed was that since we were in a marsh, we're obviously surrounding this really huge lake, and of course we picked up loads of trash on land, and you know, and in the trails and in the woods. But going up to the edge of the water, you'll see we saw so many bottle caps, the really like thick plastic bottle caps, right? And then just under the water you could see loads of waste and plastic and trash, and it was ridiculous. I was just thinking the entire time, I was like, oh my god, because it was just so much, but people don't even notice, and they don't even think about the tiny pieces of plastic they're just throwing out the window when they're driving around in their car.
And like we said in our last video, which everybody should have seen because it was just fantastic, but Alina mentioned that the most harmful kinds of plastics sometimes are the smallest ones. And I'm glad that you made a comment about that, because I was going to too. At one point, some of us were like almost wading in the water down at the bottom of the bank, and it was just heartbreaking. Like, you could scoop your hand like this and pick up a dozen or more bottle caps. And I think that another big takeaway from this event was that we were, you know, immersed in nature, and all I could think was how there are so many other species that rely on it, and we just go and take advantage of it and destroy it. And even if we stopped using plastic right now, even if we stopped using it yesterday, these pieces of it that are in our nature, in our backyards, in our grocery stores, everywhere you look, they're not going to go away for hundreds of years. I mean, theoretically, they're not going to break down for tens of thousands. But we were at this park, John A. Roebling Park.
Yep.
And with the Abbott Marsh in it. And there's this beautiful staircase in the side of the hill.
It looked so cool.
It looked like it was like white marble. You know, it was very out of place. And halfway up the staircase, it just crumbles. And there's houses at the top.
You think that it was some part of like a castle or something,
Yeah.
you know, if there ever were castles in Hamilton, New Jersey.
But it turns out that there used to be an amusement park there in the 1800s, which I have grown up, I lived in New Jersey my whole life. I never knew something like that was there.
Amusement parks back then were apparently pretty lit.
Yeah, I would assume so. They, like, just history is awesome, and it's so rich in history in that area, and it's just, the marble staircase, fine. But the shopping carts, the garden ornaments, like, you could tell that people have just thrown it over the side of the hill and just forgotten about it. And some of the stuff we found was new-ish, but a lot of it was old, like that TV. It was clear that it had been there for decades.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the kind of TVs you'd see in homes now.
Nah, not one that you would go to Walmart and be able to find. It's pretty much an antique.
It was
We did find an
super
antique.
90s.
That Nokia slide-up phone.
Yes!
Kids these days probably don't even know what one of those is, but us grown-ups, we've been around. If we hadn't been there that day, all of that stuff would still be there.
Yeah.
If we hadn't been doing this painstaking, like, it was pretty cold, but it was so worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
And the best part was being surrounded by people like this one right here, who care and who are on the same page as me.
It was kind of like, you know, fate that we became friends.
Well, yeah, of course. Now we can grace the internet with these wonderful videos that I know you guys are just dying to keep seeing.
Of course.
Just like the planet is dying because of our actions. So there you go. We have our tree planting in a couple weeks. We have beach sweep in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and we'll keeping you guys updated. We'll keep you guys updated on everything that we have going on, and we're gonna be posting more on YouTube, and we're gonna start an Instagram page, and we're gonna get more social media going. So.
And now that it is
tuned.
officially spring, life is about to be in bloom, especially where we live in New Jersey, and this is the time more than ever to go outside and be appreciative of the beauty of nature, watching a flower bloom, and just knowing that you make the difference between life and death in nature. And so, yeah, so keep in mind the little things mean the most, and stay tuned with us next time here at Rider University. Green Gang!